Dan, have you ever heard of the old saying that the first step is the hardest?
I have, and I am reminded of it every morning I get out of bed.
The first step is the most difficult. I don't think
Yes.
we're talking about getting old, however.
Well, like I said, that's how it's been working out for me every morning. The first step out of bed is the most difficult.
Yeah. I have a friend that's much older than me. He has, I've known him my whole life, and I always tease him. I say I'm always stiff and sore when I wake up in the morning. How old do you have to be until that starts getting less and less? He just looks at me kind of funny.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it. I always like the little videos I see now online, the AI ones, where like they ask a guy how long he's been doing firewood, and he's like, I'm retired from firewood or something. And they show him, and he's like really old, and they're like, well, how long did you do it? Oh, 18 years.
Yeah.
He just looks like he's 80 years old.
Uh-huh. Yeah. I sometimes am all stiff and sore, the following day. I thought I hurt myself the other day. I felt like I pulled a muscle in my like upper back, and I was really worried about it, but I woke up the next morning and I felt okay.
Oh, well, that's good.
Yeah. You're I guess the older you get, learn to think more or think with your head and not your back, as they say. But
Yes.
you still make mistakes. You get into the heat of the moment, and you go back to think you're in your 20s still.
Yeah. I've come across many situations like that where I'll be on my tractor, and the left side has the step on it, but I'm thinking I'm going to jump off the right side just to get off quick because I need to be on the right side. But then I say, no, you know what? I'm going to take that left side. I'm going to take the long way around because it's the safest way down.
Oh yeah. Yeah. So I'm not talking though about getting old. I'm talking about starting something new.
Oh,
And from my life experiences, that to me has been the biggest challenge, is taking that first step. And from my experiences and what I've accomplished, when people ask for my advice, I would tell them to try to remove all of the obstacles that's keeping you from beginning whatever it is that you want to begin. And the one thing, well, we need to pin my public speaking presentation on here, which was quit asking me for my advice.
yeah.
Because what I had found is when you start asking for people's advice, you usually find a way to talk yourself out of starting.
Yeah. Yeah.
But in this case, I was wanting to talk to you about starting something new. And if you were to start something new, let's just pick something here that maybe you and me both have something in common. I don't know, maybe a YouTube or a social media presence, and or a firewood company for profit. And what do you need, Dan, to get started? And I mean, like, everything's on the table here. The mental part of it, the money, the capital needs, the equipment, and all. Because when I think about that first step is the most difficult, I think a lot of times people might also talk themselves out of things because they think they need a lot more than what they really need to get started.
Yeah. I would agree with that. I think if we're going down first the path of social media, YouTube, I think that has really been simplified down to you right now can, with just your phone, is all you need.
I agree.
That's it. I mean, I you don't, and I see a lot of people will always ask questions. I'm thinking about starting a YouTube channel. What type of camera do I need? What microphone do I want? What sort of lighting do you use? What editing software do you have? what model laptop are you? It's like all these things they list out, and to start, you don't need any of that. I mean, it would be, you know, it might help, but you don't need it at all.
Uh-huh. Yeah. What do you see out there? I mean, let's just stick with firewood. Do you see a lot of heavily edited channels in the firewood niche?
No, and
Yeah, I
and
don't
and
either.
I don't think any niche actually. I mean, but firewood especially, I don't think there's a lot of. I mean, I don't think there's a lot of like heavy post production work being done.
Uh-huh.
And by post production, I mean taking your raw files and editing together the story that you wanted to tell with your video. I think most of
Yeah.
that is done between the hitting of the record button and the ending of the record button. Like I think everything is done in that one session.
Yeah. I see it. Some of the videos that I watch, like I watch in the solar niche, and they're not. It's like just normal people, like what you see in firewood. The other one, like travel, you know,
Yep.
these people that build these stealth camper vans. Now those are heavily edited. There's all kinds of drone footage and B-roll and music and stuff. But I think for the most part, I think you're right, especially in social media. And that's, I think, the appeal of it is if you're thinking of getting started, you really don't need to trick yourself into thinking that there's all of these technological needs and costs and expenses that would be prohibitive for you to get started.
Correct. Yeah, you don't need a lot of that stuff. And at
Uh
at
huh.
the core base of it all, the thing that you really need is it's simple. Like you need a story to tell, and you need to tell that story in a way that will, keep your audience interested,
Awake. Keeps them
interested,
awake. Yeah.
entertained, whatever your purpose is, I guess. That's the objective, because you can sit and watch a heavily edited video, and if it's just all over the place and it doesn't make any sense, you're not going to be interested in it. Like those
Uh huh.
things do not make or break your video. But
Yeah.
if you can tell a interesting, compelling story with just your phone walking around, that's going to hold your audience, and that's going to get you a, I guess, following. That's what's going to build your channel.
Yeah, I agree. I look at myself and what I have accomplished. I'm moderately successful. I'm no way when I think of big YouTube channels, I think of you know these massive channels. I think in the world of YouTube, we're probably both still small potatoes. But within our
Yes.
niche, we're decent, and I use a Galaxy S22, which I think.
Oh my.
Why are you laughing at me? Which I think is now pushing 4 years old. And fortunately, the crack that goes across the screen isn't close to the camera on the selfie side. Okay, I don't use a microphone. I don't use a tripod. I don't subscribe to a music. What do you call those things, Dan? A music duty free.
Service, yeah, library, paid library.
Yeah, I don't use music. I the editing software I use is a free app called VN, Victor November. I don't even know what it means. I just know it's free. It has like a paid a paid upgrade, but I just use the free version. And there's no I really don't even. I occasionally can sneak in like a B-roll kind of a video over top of it, but it's kind of complicated for me. Yeah, and I walk around and I talk into my camera, or I can get my wife or my daughters to film me, and that's it. Um, I hear people talk about, the expenses of running their YouTube channel, and I was like, what expense? My expenses are zero. Everything's free, and my phone, has long been paid off. It's not even an iPhone, which I guess
Jeez.
has a better camera on it. I don't know, but my point would be, I do okay. It's not what I've always said. It's not life changing money, but it's not chump change. I'll take it. But I do it all. I do it all. Probably, I would bet money, Dan. I would bet my own money that I am probably the lowest tech. I am the lowest tech channel in the firewood niche on YouTube. I bet you that there's no one else that uses less technology than me.
I would maybe have disagreed with you until I heard what type of phone you're using and how old it is. I think I think
Yeah.
that might put you in that category. Yeah, you might be.
Uh-huh.
You might take that award.
Yeah, I would say anyone that gets, they say, oh, you got to have this, no, you don't. I am proof that you do not. But like, even with you, your live streams are pretty, you got some cool graphics and stuff, but I mean,
You wouldn't need it.
uh,
No.
you got music, but music's not that big of a deal, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean I use stuff to just kind of add to what I'm doing. I wouldn't need it. Not at all, but I just like to have different things. But I think that's part of the thing when you're starting out, what you need to start out and what you need to get to where you're going and what your goals are. I mean, that's kind of two different things. Like starting out, you just need a phone. But, if you want to improve your audio, maybe look into a microphone. If you
Yeah.
feel like, but all of these things don't use as an excuse and don't think that those things are going to then make up for, shortcomings in other areas. So like,
Uh-huh.
if you're afraid to be on camera and you don't want to talk, you're probably going to get a channel to only go so far. Like people want to interact, they want to engage with you. So if you don't want to be seen, or when you get on camera you can't hear what you're saying, that's going to impact how well the audience connects with you.
Uh-huh. Dan, I don't even subscribe to a thumbnail generator.
Oh,
My
I don't either.
thumbnails are mine are just a still shot from my video. I get excited when my phone gets an update, because I keep thinking they're going to put like a new arrow option in my gallery for my picture editing, because I don't even have like a red arrow that I want to point at something obscure in my video. I got those, like a stupid skinny white arrow. That's all I got.
Oh, look, there's a new transition besides cross dissolve.
Yeah. Yeah, I when I figured out how to do that, when I put in like a dissolve, a transition like that, man, I feel like a boss. I was like, gosh, I'm so cool. I keep
I
waiting for like NBC or someone to call me up and ask if they can hire me.
I can just see you holding your phone and you put that transition in and then you preview it and watch it, and then you just like drop your phone like a mic drop and walk
Yeah.
away, strutting across the room.
Yeah. Yeah, but I think the message here is for people that want to get started in something, don't complicate your thinking process. Don't put a bunch of obstacles in your way to think that you got to have this, you got to have that to do a social media video or whatever. You don't.
No, you do
No.
not. But if we want to switch to firewood, I've seen many lists of things you need to get started, and you should have.
Well, the I think that is problematic, because so I think that the word, I mean, let's work with this exercise here, but the word of the day, at least for me, is the word orthodox or tradition or um, being a conformist
Yes.
to the way things should be or must be, or the way it's always been done. Because as with everything, how you want to start a business, or the kind of the market you want to get into, the niche market maybe that you want to get into, that would largely determine all that. So I would argue that if you want to get into firewood, you just don't have to do it the same way that everyone else does it. You don't, because there's different things that you can do to be profitable, to make your mark in the market. But it seems like whenever anyone ever talks about starting a firewood business, it's always the same thing, dump truck, log splitter, chainsaw.
I got a list here that someone put together for me,
Okay.
and I'll go down and at the end I'll reveal who this someone was. So just
Okay.
hold
Well,
tight.
I'll be myself. And if this is someone that's asking me their opinion, or
Yes.
they're asking me for my opinion. Okay.
Yep. I'm gonna read. I'm gonna say with the beginning part is to start a firewood business. I need, and I'm gonna list things off, and you say yes or no, or
Okay.
yes you do, no you don't, whatever you, well, however you want to answer.
Okay.
All right. Here we go.
All right.
To start a firewood business, you need a chainsaw.
Um, well, I would say no, you don't, but maybe you would want one.
All right. You need a log splitter.
No, you don't.
You need an axe.
Oh, heavens, no. No, you don't.
You need a firewood processor.
No, you don't.
You need a
But
conveyor.
but I'll say that firewood processors are cool.
You need a conveyor.
No, you don't.
You need a pickup truck or a trailer.
Um, I'm gonna pause on this one. You don't need a trailer, although they're awesome. And a pickup truck, I would say, must you have a pickup truck? No, but um, if if I were required to start a firewood business and I was only allowed to have one piece of equipment, I would choose a pickup truck.
Ooh, okay.
But you still don't need one.
All right. Rapid fire through this next section.
Okay.
Skid steer,
No.
tractor,
No. Although they're awesome.
mini excavator.
No.
All right. A connection with a logger or a tree service company.
Maybe, but I would say that that's not required either.
All right. And then the rest of these are just, the rest of the stuff on the list is not, I ain't even gonna ask. So that's my list so far
Uh-huh.
that I just read through.
Yeah, I would say though that a relationship with a firewood producer, yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because I think I
But
know
not
where,
a logger and not a tree service. No, that's not
okay.
required. Yeah.
So that's just a few things off of a list that I asked none other than Chat GPT, the AI service online. So
Oh wow.
according to the internet, that those are some of the things you need according to the internet. Scanning across various, I guess, websites or videos that people have put out there saying things you need. But
Yeah.
it sounded like you were answering a lot to those. No, you don't.
Yeah, no, you don't. So I will go back to the word orthodox. There's the way that everyone does it. And then there's always this one guy or gal that's totally different. The person with the unorthodox golf swing, or the batter with the unorthodox batting stance, or the pitcher with the unorthodox windup. The people that are different, the people that see things different, the people that do things different. And if there is an industry out there that could use a new, fresh set of eyes and a different way of attacking the problem of being profitable in firewood, it's well, being profitable in anything, it's the firewood industry. We have this orthodoxy that when a person wants to start a firewood business, they all pretty much do the same thing. You find a log supply, you find machines, and a 1-ton truck.
And a dump
And
trailer.
dump trailers are awesome, though. I'm just saying.
Yes, they are.
Yes, but you don't need them. You do not need them. And if anyone ever is out there that says that you got to do this, you got to do that, your reply should be, no, you don't, because there's different ways to do stuff. And I would suspect if I had the energy and the desire, I would, my next firewood business would be where I don't even leave my living room. I would secure a network of suppliers that make firewood. I would secure a network of people with pickup trucks, and I would develop a website, and I would sell wood like that without even breaking a sweat.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if you want to get into the firewood industry, do that and save yourself all the aggravation of getting stung by bees and busting your shins and, ripping your fingernail off your index finger. But then that takes away all the fun of it too, because,
I was just gonna say, but I think a lot of people get into firewood for the enjoyment of making the firewood.
yes.
Yeah.
Well, that is the orthodoxy of it. And that's what, there is that, what do you want to do? And that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to make firewood. But how I sell it is different. My market is different. But, you know, I look, I at least was able to figure out pretty quick that the orthodox way of running a firewood business, it ain't for me. My yard then was my property, not big enough, not agreeable enough, to get these trucks coming in. I couldn't find the supply in a way. I still can't find the supply. That's why I'm still buying firewood already made. But that was, when I first started doing my YouTube videos, I did a video standing in front of a log truck getting unloaded. And I was talking about my struggles finding supply, and that because I can't get enough logs to keep up with my volume, I'm still buying firewood that was already made. So there was this guy that leaves this real nasty comment, calling me, the ripoff because I'm buying firewood to resell it. Do I tell my customers that I'm doing that? And that just struck me as weird, because this is called capitalism. Why don't you go yell at Walmart because they bought their Heath bars, for
Yeah.
50 cents and sold them for $1? Why are they allowed to do it, but you're not allowed to do it in firewood? And that's where you're getting into this orthodoxy. There is this ingrained thought process in our industry that there is a way that it must be done, that it should be done. And if you don't do it this way, then everyone looks at you like you're kind of different. Well, it's because you are different, but they're suspicious of you.
You're doing it wrong.
You're doing it wrong. Yeah, I
Yes.
still get it right now. I mean, I look around my yard and I'm like, okay, this looks pretty good. And then I'm still getting these comments. You're doing it wrong. You're doing it wrong. Touching the wood too much. We're getting back to touching the firewood.
Oh
Oh my
no,
gosh.
no.
Yeah, right. Don't touch the firewood. Yeah. So think differently. And our industry needs that. If you're wanting to start a firewood business, well, you don't even have to own a chainsaw if you want to be in the firewood industry. And there's nothing out there that says you can't, except
Yep.
the free market. The free market will tell you if you're doing it right.
If you really wanted to be involved with firewood, aside from the actual physical producing, cutting, splitting, all that stuff, we've had people on here like that. The Woodbourne boys out of New York. I
Yeah.
mean, there's a guy that rented out a storage locker had wood delivered to him, bundled it up, boxed it up, and delivered it. Like
Yeah.
that was completely out of the normal scope of what you think of when you think of producing and selling firewood. So
Yeah.
if you're a young kid, you could, to your point, you could buy already processed firewood, package it into bundles, sell it that way. You wouldn't need to have a dump trailer. You wouldn't need to have the ability to deliver a full cord at a time.
No.
All those things that you typically hear, or if you ask Chat GPT for, those things you really don't need to get started.
Yeah, just keep that. But if you do decide to make a business like that, keep it away from that guy in my comment section, because he would tell you otherwise, that you're doing it wrong, and what you're not only what you're doing is wrong, it is wrong.
Right.
Yeah.
The interesting thing on that list of that was generated from Chat GPT, there was a bullet point near the end of one of the things you need was a YouTube or social media presence.
Yeah. Well, that is what you did not ask me, and you must. I think the first thing you need is a website.
Yeah. So like online presence. You need somewhere
Yes.
online to connect with you.
You better believe it. I brag that I have not spent one penny on marketing, but that's because my website's free,
Yep.
and everything that I've accomplished is because of my website. I was I was that was when I first started doing this. My little light went off inside my head, and I was like, this isn't how you should do it, Joe. And I started looking around at like high end kind of business. I remember I was looking at websites like Maserati, Goldman Sachs, and I was just looking at their websites and the words that they would use. So I started using the word exclusive in my
Ooh.
website. Yeah, I was
Yeah.
just trying to cater to a different clientele, and I guess it worked because my phone started ringing and I was getting the right kind of customers.
Yeah.
But I never did. That. So when I started looking at this, I was thinking of doing these, because this is what all my research was. This is what everyone does. These tear offs on the cork boards at grocery stores, these door hangers, in neighborhoods and stuff. And I was like, gosh, that's so much work for little return on investment. And that's when you think, well, wait, that's why you got a website. Whenever someone wants to buy something, they pull out their phone. They don't go down to the grocery store to look at the bulletin board.
Yeah. They don't stop at the telephone poles to look at the flyers stapled to them.
Yeah. So that should be the title of this episode. What you must have to start a firewood business is a website.
There you go. Yep.
Yeah. That's what, if you're asking me, that's what it would be. Now, if someone comes to me and they say, Joe, I love making firewood and I want to make it and sell it, what do I need? I would say, well, you at least need a pickup truck. Yeah.
Yep. Or
Chances
a
are they
friend
already have. Yeah. Well, I would
with
say
a
you already
pickup truck.
got everything you need.
Yeah. Or a way to get someone with a truck to deliver
Yes.
the firewood for you.
Uh-huh. But that also adds new complexity. But every business has challenges and opportunities, and finding the right supplier, finding the right person to do your delivering, and keeping those two separated, because when the person delivering the wood finds out what you're selling it for, and then they're going to start thinking, well, what the heck, I can do this too. And then they steal all your customers. Okay, well, you got to be a business person and manage that, because this goes on just about every industry out there, where the delivery people are not the people that make it.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So that is what I would say. When people say that they want to start a firewood business, everyone's head goes to the exact same spot: orthodoxy. The traditional way of doing things. And what I am saying is, it doesn't have to be that way. And if you follow my advice, quit asking for people's advice. You already know everything that you need to do, so just get it going. But if you do decide to talk with people, pay attention to who you're talking to, because you might be talking to a person from the wrong market of your industry.
You might be talking to someone who does who does firewood their way because it works for them where they are, but you're not where they are, so it might not work for you.
Yeah, or to make it worse, they've had success and that's the only way now it needs to be done. And so
Yep.
they're going to hammer away on you that it must be done. Like I told you about that one guy when we were out of state at a softball tournament. I stopped at his wood yard. This guy was just, wow, he wore me out. Everything, I didn't tell him how I did it because everything he was telling me, I was doing it wrong. That you cannot do delivery. There's no money to be had in delivery for firewood. You can't, it's got to be you can't touch it. You can't look at it. You can't this, you can't that. And everything that he was telling me to do would have put me on a dead end street for my business. There would be nowhere to go but to keep lowering my prices to get sales. So that's where, I was just, well, I do it different. I'm different.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right.
But,
well,
I would also say one other thing, Dan, that just don't be different for different sake, but have the courage to think outside the box, to think differently, to be a creative problem solver. But then turn your ears off, because if you're different, you're going to hear it and people don't like it. And if you don't believe me, paint your hair purple and go down to the hardware store and tell me if you don't get treated differently because you're different,
Right. And wear an Ohio Woodburner t-shirt when you do that.
Hey, you got to look good.
Then they'll really say, what the heck?
Uh-huh. Yeah. So there you go, Dan.
All right. I'm ready to take my first step and get moving.
All right. So what you need to do, Dan, is you got to go buy the Turbo 3000 double kryptonite camera.
Yep.
And the hovering tripod.
And I need a drone. I need a couple drones. I need, all that fancy gear.
Did you know that you have to have a license to fly a drone if you're using your video for profit?
Yeah, I did. And that's why I don't have one yet.
I always wonder, you see all this drone footage on people's videos. I wonder if they do that. I don't know.
I don't think they do, but I think it's soon going to be, I don't know if it's going to be enforced that much, but because YouTube will detect drone footage in your videos.
Like
they have that capability to know what a drone shot is. So I mean, it's just one of those things.
Our good friend Kevin from the Bionic Life, who lives north of me in Jefferson, Ohio, he has a drone license and he does it.
Yeah.
He's had drone footage on his channel, but he's licensed to do it.
Yeah, I would have a hard time because I'm close to an airport. So I don't even know if I can. Some drones have that GPS locator where if you're within so many miles of an airport, they won't even launch.
Oh, wow.
They won't even activate. So I don't think I'd be able to have one anyway. But maybe I could keep it below 50 feet or something.
Get a Fisher Price drone. Won't have any of that stuff on there.
Nope. All right,
Dan.
Everyone out there, hopefully you are now motivated to take that first step, doing whatever you wanted to do, and ready to go.
Yeah. Do it our way or you're wrong.
There is only one way. The Joe way.
There's the right way, the wrong way, and the Joe way.
Yes.
Right. Yeah, no, do what you want. It's a free market. Have fun and enjoy what you're doing. Yeah.
All right. Well, with that, I think we're ready to strike up the band.
Yeah, let's strike up the band, Dan.
Band
And let's
struck.
and let's tell everyone out there, thank you for tuning in to the Wood Hounds, helping us to become the #1 firewood podcast in the world.
In the world. And we're available on all major streaming services, wherever you want to tune in, each and every week. Wednesday mornings, 5 a.m. Eastern. And with that, Joe, take us
Dan,
out of here.
let's tell everyone out there to get
Moving.
and be
your own person.
yeah, that's good enough. And have
a great day.